Erica Lorraine Spencer here. This is the P.O.C. pattern of conduct, the ongoing real-time documentation of what is the criminal pattern of conduct of federal stalking in violation of 18 U.S.C. sections 2261A subsection 1 and subsection 2. This is the pattern of conduct underway by a public entity, that is the state of California, that is engaging in federal stalking in concert with the people of the state of California. So this is group conduct. And this is the practicing of what are the criminal elements of monitoring amongst what is the demon possessed. And so this is what is documentation of terrorism as it is underway by a public entity in concert with the people of the state who are in the shoes of the government as this criminal system is in ceaseless operation. And as the state engages in this demented group conduct, this is revealing how the public entity, that is the state of California, that is in the United States of America, how terrorism of an American citizen plays out, what that looks like, how that is facilitated amongst a people, amongst a government, how it is public corruption in plain sight, and not only that, how you formulate policy and how you prosecute that which is demonic conduct, it's demonic activity, but that which is in no way impervious to prosecution in federal court, and being subject to ratification into federal policy. This is the P.O.C. It is Tuesday, November 23rd, 2021. It's currently 12:03 a.m. And this is documentation of what is the terrorizing, stalking conduct and sexual violence of the public entity that is at this hour and has consistently been. Again, you're listening to my ongoing daily documentation, and this is through the late night of the previous evening, which was November 22nd, the state engaging in that ceaseless direction of light, molestation with directed light, and engaging in what is targeting all of that demented pattern of conduct, concentrating it inside of the vehicle that the people of the state, that the government itself is stalking me inside of, meaning knowing exactly where I am located. And this is how you have what is the same exact directed light that I have shown where the state is stalking with this conduct, concentrating that inside of the venue while stalking around in vehicles in relevant position, also communicating demonic hostility while doing so. All right. This is the state that is engaging in ongoing stalking via helicopter as well. I want to document that. And the state engaging in this ongoing stalking all night long. The people of the state, they are demon possessed and they're engaging in 24-hour surveillance and stalking. All right. This is 24 hours harassment as well. This is harassment that is by an entity. And I want to document that entity engaging in that ceaseless terrorism. It is currently 12:04 a.m. And this is the P.O.C. 5YUN660, 6RZC952, 7XEH700, 82920D3, 8SHK109. And so let me clarify something. When I am sitting in the car and this same exact entity is stalking at night, 24 hours a day, all 8 hours a night, stalking pursuant to the same demonic behavioral pattern, molesting with directed light, and then you're talking about the entity that is then working in the grocery store. This is the people of the state. They are the same entity. They're one, okay? Engaging in what is that sexually violent, predatory conduct inside of the vehicle. And then you're talking about what is the environment that's present where you're going to use the bathroom. And you know this is the infliction of harm that the government is engaging in with the people of the state. And the target individual knows that they are subject to what is that corporate invasion of privacy. Everybody's aware of what you are doing inside of that private space. And those sex offenders circulate around you inside of that venue. And it is the absence of normalcy. And that is exactly what I documented. 5NGE812. All right. And that is speaking to what is the prosecution of that entity that's flying over the parking lot, that is using what is a third party over the age. She had to be at least 85, okay? And you're looking at the same exact pattern of conduct. It does not matter what you look like. There is no outward veneer where the P.O.C. is veiled anymore, all right? And you're talking about that infliction of harm. And this is what I'm speaking to with regard to the prosecution of policy under Title 18, which does not go far enough, okay? There has to be suffering and prosecution and justice for what the government is engaging in every aspect of what the government is engaging in. All right, those are the same sickos In this parking lot, it's the same entity that was stalking all last night, having a good time, speeding by, causing vibrations in the car. That's the state acting with the people, perverts, all right? Criminals, stalking somebody in a vehicle and molesting with directed light that's not even naturally occurring. The same light you saw next to that old biddy's vehicle on the ground. Impossible light activity, an act of terrorism by somebody over the age of 85. They could be somebody under the age of 14, just like I showed you inside a state facilitating venue, the Ontario Oval. They're representing the state. Okay, it doesn't matter if I could smack the taste out of their mouth. That's not the point. They're not representing themselves. They're not present on behalf of themselves. They're not exercising any First Amendment rights. This is a government system, and this is the takedown of that entire system. That is the same exact entity, and then engages in invasion of privacy, monitoring you inside of the private space. Everybody, you're talking about demons as well, and let me be clear, demons know exactly what you're doing, and this is the exposure of what is sexual violence by demented people in the state of California who are violent sex offenders. All right, not only their condition is known, you're talking about the criminal conduct that they're engaging in pursuant to that condition, demon possession. All right, monitoring with communication devices. It is 8:22 a.m. That's third-party facilitating venue, Stater Brothers inside of Ontario Village, 6R-DJ-284, 8DOR-694. And I did capture images of what is relevant positioning and directed light. And you have more impossible light activity. This is terrorism inside of that alleged family market. This is flashing directed light on the wall that is opposite of the registers. All right, while they're standing in line, all studying their communication devices, all engaging in sexual violence, which is routine in their pattern of conduct of federal stalking with the government, inside of the private space monitoring, okay? It is currently 8:22 a.m., and that is P.O.C. Let me get these licenses. 4KMC 581, 8LDH 450, 7UXA237. And the state's fake sun that's right over me at the entrance of the Stater Brothers is no longer over that parking lot. It is remaining over me while I'm in the vehicle, leaving from that venue. Okay, and that is the ongoing P.O.C.
Where do you catch the bus?
It is 8:23 a.m. All right, it is 8:31 a.m. That is license plates. Following inside of Shiro's Liquor. The same demon, 6JQY372. He arrived twice yesterday. That's the demon you hear closing doors with simultaneity to my snapping pictures of Omnitrans and the impossible light in the fake sun. And then that demon returns again yesterday, as I documented while I was remaining on at the bus stop of Omnitrans at BNG Plaza documenting. And understand this is intentional presence while you're documenting what are stalkers. So this is the stalker that knows it's being documented wants to come again and is documented again. And that's all deliberate presence. You're talking about directed light, a fake sun, group stalking by the state, concerted activity. This is intentional conduct of a stalker. This is the same one returning again. I just want to document that. It's 8:32 a.m. All right, 8:35 a.m. I captured an image of what is hovering over the center ice arena. All right, that's called relevant position, and the fake sun is right here where I am at. This is the people acting via their provision of commercial airline planes to the government, engaging in federal stalking, the demon possessed that are monitoring in the state of California, operating under commercial names, all right? And that is a commercial airline plane that is not taking off from the Ontario airport, all right? At the elevation, they would already be higher, in the same way that as I take the images and as the state stalks by, crossing my path in such plane, the state is heightening in elevation. If this was actually taking off from the Ontario airport, again, like I said, this is the state stalking via third-party provision of commercial airline planes. Criminal facilitation for 8CZN 832, 60B3559. They're monitoring together. 8MRN 763, 8YPZ 468, 8VQG 276. And you can see that in the pictures, and I've also shown you where they are engaging in merely making U-turns in the sky over me under the fake sun and in directed light, flying up to the alignment to be in alignment with me in the path. This is what group stalking is. It's about presence in the path. It's about maintenance of presence in the path, and doing so in all the ways I've shown you, stalking by aircraft and doing so all around me on the ground. All right, 7DKV 894 08465 N2 88176. And that looks like a different looking license plate. It doesn't look like a handicap because it doesn't have the blue handicap sign on it, but it's a shortened license plate similar to a handicap. License 7HZB 763. And those are images that you can see for yourself. This is the same amplification. This is the signature of the state, and in the same sort of plane that it was hovering over Stater Brothers. All right, as I'm getting out at a elevation where you actually would not hear that volume. That's called amplification. They're monitoring, and that's all you're doing under the fake sun. I'm breaking down what is the ongoing engagement in elements, how they're doing it. It's the same conduct over and over again. All right, license plate. I can't see that one. It is 8:37 a.m. Omnitrans loitering in relevant position. That is bus 2359 at Lemon and Holt going westbound. There's loitering in relevant position, cockroaches monitoring, moving around into the fake sun. And you know the demented conduct that they're engaging in. They're monitoring and stalking. And this is why you have an arcade of lights on the buildings while they do so. They're demons and they're stalkers. License 8TYJ 8274. HXX229 5ZKC647 Vertec license plate 70284H1 7KJK248 can't see that C452750 8K19824 Vertec 6997TH1 150053 I believe. I don't know what that is. And this is the demon in the parking lot, 6ZNX314. They're pacing around while the state is hovering in a smaller plane, 6XYH620. BFDJ254. And so what's going on in the background, everything you're listening to, everything that's occurring, you know the environment, it's deliberate. 7DTL150, the state is sounding the train, that's Union Pacific. That's audible activity, all right? While the state is hovering in airplanes, those are demons patrolling in the sky. 8KNY283, hovering again in another plane, and now creating massive light activity as though the plane is going to create a moving shadow across Holt Boulevard. That's terrorism. This is the same entity I documented inside of Stater Brothers, and that's what I'm talking about. 6TMM611. Do not be deceived because they're in that store. That's the same demon-possessed stalker that acts with such malice and is a predator, stalking at 11:30, 12:30 in the morning, all night, stalking to every move that I make, molesting and terrorizing with directed light, the same directed light that you see on the patch of inside of their store, impossible light activity. They're sex offenders, and they're acting with that government that's engaging in that act of terrorism. It's the same demonic possession. Understand that. That same vicious demon is operating in the people of the state. Okay, it's demon possession. And that psychopath engaging in flying a plane, which is never going to create a shadow across a major highway, all right, that's the entity that's listening to me document, and that's going toward every demon that I am documenting by license plate, image, address, etc. They're one entity, all right? And that is speaking to what is the terrorism that they are corporately engaging in, all right? That sex offender, as it's aiming its fake son, is communicating a sexually violent threat while you then use the restroom, and you know that all of the entity is listening and observing and engaging in surveillance while you're in that private space. You're going to prosecute that sex offender. 65393X1, 6DFF183. 8KDR697, 6LCH490, 445ZD handicap, 59439D3 touching, 5677582 touching, just like they are when they're stalking inside of a vehicle, stalking an American citizen. 02870G3, 357WF handicap, 6WXN512, 7DLJ809. Hertz is crossing, I'm sorry, that's Herc, H-E-R-C rentals. Sounds very similar to Hertz. Might have a trademark issue there. 26229X2, spelled H-E-R-C rental. To me, it sounds like Hertz, but that's what it says. 7TMW548 is then exiting B&G Plaza in operation of her communication device. That's a demon-possessed stalker. That is a demon-possession that is a demon operating through that Caucasian female, okay? Monitoring pursuant to that same stalking, this demonic impulse. This is demonic activity in the state of California. I just want to be clear. That's what this obsession is about amongst the people. This is how you have strangers engaging in an identical behavioral pattern. This is what you have obsession amongst someone that you do not personally know. It's demonic, okay? And the environment they're in is demonic. And the conduct that they are engaging in is demonic, okay? That's where that comes from. License plate 8AHN460 11527K1 5G78542 3PJF251 5UUA205 I believe 8LXX I can't see the one you started that 8HGH650 8PUK918 7CDV831 7GFJ544. They are literally all under a fake sun that is remaining over me everywhere that I go. It doesn't get any more demented than that. And the people of the state of California are fully engaged in that system. And now what they have been doing for years is made manifest for the world to know. 19856B3. And they are demented in the state of California. Okay? Demented. Doing nothing but stalking. It is a con of an existence. All right. You have cons working for the law enforcement, cons working for any emergency company where they are maintaining an environment around American citizens. Everything that they are doing is serving that criminal system while they are maintaining a con of an existence. All right. Everything is serving that ongoing criminal system. And it is actually centered around that American citizen that's being monitored. Their whole con of an existence is centered around that. It's providing what's supposed to be the outward form for what is centered on that American citizen that is being monitored systematically by the entirety of the people, anywhere that that American citizen goes. Okay? That's what they're doing in California. It's called public corruption. These are demons that are engaging in criminal conduct. Let me be clear, it's called terrorism, as demons practice that in cons with the government. 7FRJ042, 055END. 8XNC765, 8ZBL650, AW38A61, paper, 8XYU135, 8BRT509, 8SBL403. That's me. Don't mean to make annoying sounds like third parties do. I'm trying to open up a wrapper. 8:44 a.m. and I need to keep recording, so just letting you know what I'm doing. 70388 handicap. That's a demon that's stalking with activity. Vitco Foods is in relevant position at Andy's Burgers, loitering in relevant position in the same exact directed light, monitoring at that venue. It's 8:44 a.m. All right, capturing video of what is molestation by omnitrans with directed light while they are crossing path under the fake sun. All right, 7PWV420, and that is a company engaging in what is sexual violence on behalf of a government and the people of the state. Omnitrans alone is acting on behalf of the people of the state. So that act of sexual violence is not single to what is just Omnitrans that's going to be prosecuted. Every documented actor, the people of the state, the vicarious aspect of that entity, the government is acting through the people. That is the people engaging in sexual violence again. 8LWM843. And that's how that prosecution is going to go. Okay? The people are violent sex offenders, acting in their personal capacities, acting commercially to stalk with the government and sexually violate an American citizen. 5XBC962 40718S2. 8ULS435, 7PKJ295, 8HVG508. And this is a demonic system, and these demon possessed, they are obsessed. AC, they are obsessed. If that's a paper plate I couldn't see. They are obsessed, okay? And it's an obsession that is life-threatening. That is the impermissible threat, as I have termed it. That is to be a method, means, a principle with regard to prosecuting that entity. All right. Obsessed with regard to the criminal conduct that they are engaging in, obsessed with the continuation, a determination to engage in that with knowledge of what you're documenting, obsessed with regard to that sexual molestation, that sexual violation, that invasion of privacy in that private space, being in every aspect, every facet, all right, of the life. American medical response, a sex offender, a kidnapper, engaging in crossing a path with knowledge of what I'm documenting. You're talking about a demon-possessed stalker, all right? And you're going to prosecute for that. 7UHW, I can't really see that one though. You're talking about a level of obsession that is threatening your life, okay? And that's a government that is demonstrating that threatening obsession. And this is what is unfortunate when the government is filled with what are demon-possessed actors, when the people of the state are filled with what are demon-possessed actors engaging in what is demonic activity. Demonic activity in and of itself is not in any way tethered down to any of these titles that we cling to in life, all right, in the natural, whatever your job title is, whatever your age or your ethnicity is, none of this is relevant to demon possession, none of it. So I'm showing you what is demonic activity amongst the people, amongst the government, all right, in the region. This is California. This is anywhere you're going in California. This is what is wrong with them. This is what is going on with the government. This is what the state of California is doing, all right, and it's demonic. This is speaking to a government that is depraved, and it's sad. This is speaking to a people who are lost, all right? But I'm not out here trying to save them. I'm going to prosecute them and empower the ordinary target individual being targeted by the demon-possessed to prosecute them because they're criminals, demented criminals. License 6313072. Touching, that's primary care. That's what their care is. I'm going to prosecute them for that. USPS 7531646. Primary care reaching out and molesting my body. 7K KN 979. And an old fat bearded white man doing that, touching, because that's essentially what it is. This is how the government is acting, and so that shall be the people of the state that are reaching out and molesting your body. It's that which is unnaturally occurring. It's demonic conduct. You're going to bring that demented conduct into the natural and prosecute it for what it is. You're touching, and you are touching as I identify you, and that identified molester is acting on behalf of the whole group. AENW 550 7N01, hold on, 7N10184 BR2Z. I can't see that one. That's a paper plate. It is 8:53 a.m. Yep. This is P.O.C. And what I was speaking to with regard to molestation by omnitrans, and you're looking at directed light, that's under the bus, speaking to what are none other than demon-possessed stalkers. They're all stalkers. They are all psychopaths. They are all demon-possessed. The same demented condition, doing nothing but stalking in directed light, okay? 8KUS 860, doing nothing but that criminal system, all right? With the state, 8EKJ 753, where you are looking at that, okay? It is... Like I said, the prosecution is done. Like I said, 8VSS 675. The video is what I captured of that. It's currently 8:53 a.m. Frontier Communications crossing path. ZBY 163. PF 609. That's Union Pacific. 6 PBT 762. See that one? 8 FED 335. 1516 537. 8 VKS 310. 8 SYR 227. 6 YTW 271. That is FSM Foods. All right, the same directed light conduct you see molesting by omnitrans, that's what FSM services engaged in, crossing path. That's terrorism. All right, that's a threat. While they're stalking. 8GLC 164. City of Ontario crossing path. You hear that revving of the engine? They're driving west on Hope Boulevard, passing omnitrans that's loitering in relevant position at limit and halt, bus number 1331. It's 8:58 a.m. 5POH083. 5YRM481. 8HLT059, Clean Street. 7VS7617, I believe. Clean Street knows it was documented. I published their criminal activity, which is not new. I documented them in 2020. I documented them while I was kidnapped by Ontario police in July of 2020. And I was walking back and they were group stalking in the dark, using their vehicle as light activity, stalking in the path. Clean Street knows what I published yesterday. And I spoke to what was Clean Street. That's why they're crossing path. Well, they're stalkers, but they do so. Everything I do, I'm documenting. I've told you I'm going to prosecute for that pattern. This is knowledge while they're engaging in the P.O.C. They're sickos. And Clean Street crossing path pursuant to that knowledge. 7ZBU724. JKP Logistics terrorizing with directed light. 9359 W1, substantially similar. And that's pursuant to a pattern. That's how you're gathering that. Okay. Let's see. Loitering in relevant position. I got their license plate already. This is City of Ontario again. 1469500. It's 8:59 a.m. Spectrum crossing path, terrorizing with directed light, 5WAM 990. Spectrum is driving west on Holt, 7SCZ443, and it's 9:01 a.m. So they're on the traffic cameras at Holt and Euclid Avenue, Spectrum specifically, with the rest of the third parties, but calling out that commercial actor that's terrorizing and monitoring American citizens, and as I've shown through heavy documentation in private spaces as well. 8GNX 868, I believe. 8GNX 868. 7REZ 635. 7SOF 594. 7KG0. I can't really see that one. 6CYA 851. 8XUZ 765, I believe. 5LRK 190. 7WGN 667. They're now exiting B&G Plaza. 8YKB 243. 6YTH 336, in case I did not document that one already. Loitering inside of B&G Plaza. 6AWN 351. 7WOY 697. 8W6290, Central Summer. 4917 1F1. 5TFJ 081. 8XPC 582. 8CPZ 316. 8C, I'm sorry, I can't really see that one. 8CR 773, Substantial Center. I couldn't see it though. 8UQR 239. 6ZBW 192. 8WXG 693. It is 9:05 a.m. To show you, it remains here, but let me just show you a picture. Images of group stalkers. He steps behind me to monitor while I get up out of my seat to document the third parties that are crossing path. 8TWJ 884. 575 R33. That's Nevada. This is license 90157K1. That's noise while I'm moving. That's that same demon over there, stalking. Straight up stalkers. 8VO3688. 8CIZ 905. It is 9:06 a.m. All right, it is 9:11 a.m. and I am on Route 61 going westbound, and this is license 8JSV 935, 8MCA 846, 8SYE 539. This is bus number 1324, and this is ongoing P.O.C. where the state keeps its fake sun and directed light on the venue while the people are monitoring on the roads and the highways. Just like they are while I'm sitting outside and the state keeps its fake sun stationary, the state is moving its fake sun, keeping its directed light. This is, in other words, the venue on the bus, the environment on the bus, which is a venue.
Campus Avenue.
38305 P1. That same demonic activity underway. It's, like I said, 9:12 a.m. and this is P.O.C. 8 PGR 519. 8 PTJ 898. 7NMD 147. 8 VVA 560. CANDY 20. 5WXV 999. 7YPL 704. 6WIY 906. Passing Bonneville on Hope Boulevard. License set on our 8FKS 695.
Over Long Street.
Ryder, R-Y-D-E-R, Ryder crossing path.
Requested. If possible, please use rear doors.
Si posible. Favor usar la puerta trasera.
Snap on, crossing path, United States Postal Service. In their vehicle and passing what is the venue of the United States Postal Service. That's a state facilitating venue. This is what, 1555 Holt Boulevard. That's a state facilitating venue where they're monitoring. The fake sun is right here over it. It's P.O.C. It is 9:15 a.m.
Now more than ever, people want to know if there's anything they can do to help. You can by donating plasma at BioLife Plasma. Visit us at 1346 West Berlin Boulevard, and you can have up to $700 in the first month.
This bus is being driven by employee number 2650.
Vineyard Avenue.
It's an African American male. Alright, showing you what is the state's fake sun and what is directed light on the bus. And the state is placing its fake sun. This is the Ontario airport. Alright, that's how you get the state's fake sun in conflict with where it's placing it yesterday, where it remained in Ontario, to be over you in Fontana. Alright, well, you're stopping with the light source. That's how that results. Alright, monitoring on Prime Flight. DVA Majestic Terminal Service. They're monitoring using the roads and the highways. Under the fake sun and in directed light. It is 9:17 a.m. state's fake sun aimed through me, in alignment with me, right over me, through the window, over the Ontario airport, moving it in right. This is the venue, the Ontario airport. State facilitating venue, Ontario International Airport. Federal stalking is underway. Terrorism is underway. It is 9:18 a.m.
Welcome to Ontario International Airport, Terminal 2. If you are using Alaska, Delta, United, Aeromexico, or LORRAINE Airlines, please exit the bus here.
That is the identification of
Thank you for
third parties,
riding
by the way.
Trains.
All the airlines he just named, third parties. It's 9:20 a.m.
Omnitrains buses will not be operating on Thanksgiving Day. Buses will return to normal service the day after Thanksgiving. We wish you and your family a safe and happy Thanksgiving holiday.
Capturing two videos. You're looking at what is the state keeping its fake sun while I'm on the venue, on the grounds of the Ontario International Airport, while on the property grounds are driving west, right? And the state is keeping its fake sun in alignment. It's the same exact P.O.C. And what is the venue? The Ontario International Airport, a venue, okay? Getting off of the property of the Ontario International Airport and getting onto the street, driving the opposite direction. That is going what is then west. After driving east on the grounds of the International Airport, getting on the street, driving west, and the state is keeping its fake sun, moving it in real time to maintain that perfect alignment in the opposite direction at 9:23 a.m. Right? Amazon Prime, crossing path, driving south on Archibald, crossing path at the freeway exit, approaching U.S.C. That's intentional presence by the demon-possessed stalkers operating commercial vehicles under the fake sun. License 8 CEASELESS 403. Approaching Inland Empire at Archibald at 9:24 a.m.
Inland Empire Boulevard.
Eight RBV 650.
Hi, Omnitrans Writers. Share your moment and tag at Omnitrans.
All right, capturing video at 9:32 a.m. on the state's fake sun over at the Ontario Mills. And that is license plate of Omnitrans 1545805, bus 2362 at 9:33 a.m. And this is documentation of what is the state's fake sun that is now over me through the window of the bus, right? Maintaining that central presence, maintaining directed light, engaging in an ongoing molestation while I'm on the bus, and terrorism, flashing directed light on the bus. That same conduct I'm showing you inside of, for example, Carl's Jr. is what the state is aiming inside of the vehicle where this entity knows that I am sleeping at night, aiming it onto the bus, okay? That is the ongoing P.O.C. While they are intentionally, they being the people of the state, are intentionally maintaining presence in that deliberately maintained environment that they are also contributing to. SD Heart 77. That's P.O.C. and that's what I captured in video. The fake sun over the Ontario Mills. 1 mil circle. License 8LPK125.
Route 61.
They're all
Montana.
demons. This is demonic activity in the state of California, and they're engaged in criminal conduct. So this documentation is serving to inform the condition of those in the state of California, all right, and the criminal conduct that these of this condition, including on behalf of a government of the same condition, are engaging in, and that's in violation of Title 18. But you're speaking to what is probably that which is never thought or capable of being addressed by law, 7 KRG 877, and that is the terrorizing conduct of a government that is of demon possession that are targeting American citizens. 8 SLY 416, 8 NRH 427, 8 RDD 781. And that is where Title 18 does not go far enough, and as a matter of justice, more is going to be implemented with regard to the prosecution of this entity. That is a very violent sex offender, and it is indeed a terrorist engaging in what is kidnapping to try to conceal the system. All right, and the people of the state fully engaged in that. 8 MUB 713, and they're going to be prosecuted for it. Light activity inside of the venue of the McDonald's under the fake sun, and you're looking at what is the P.O.C. There's no form for that. Light activity by 8567 6F3, vehicle 114558. That was 114558. This is license plate 5UDV292.
Excellent benefits. For more information, please visit omnitrans.org/about.
Route 61. Fontana.
8UZW334. U-Line, ULINE. That's a commercial vehicle crossing path. And I showed in the vehicle, Coca-Cola is in the parking lot. That's crossing path. They're monitoring. This entire venue is monitoring. That is why you are following with the fake sun. You're monitoring in concert with the people that are all around in their commercial vehicles, inside of any public establishments. This is demonic activity, vast demonic activity, and they're monitoring with communication devices, all together monitoring an American citizen. And this is how the government does it. License 73738W1. It is now 9:36 a.m. LXRD. It's just 4 characters on that. It's an old Lexus.
4th Street.
At 4th and can't see this one yet. That's Buffalo R681ND 8 UIB 689. All right, and what is the breakdown? These are demons that are stalking at a stoplight, making sure that you stay surrounded. All right, and the fake sun is accomplishing that molestation that those predators engage in. All right, with light at night, the same demonic entity surrounding you, waiting to touch their predators. Entirely demented, demon-possessed stalkers. That's the system in operation, because that is their aim, and that is exactly what their pattern of conduct is. And it is currently 9:38 a.m. This is Buffalo and 4th Street. License plate 8 RSB 543. License 1358155. RJP 911 068 7W1 and 58155. That's the sheriff crossing path under the fake sun. All right, that's a demon-possessed stalker that is representing law enforcement, and they are to be disbanded. They are posing a direct threat while they are engaging in this criminal conduct and of demon possession. All right, it is currently 9:39 a.m. and that's the sheriff stalking at Buffalo and 4th Street, monitoring with communication devices on the roads and the highways. All right. All right, just capturing video, giving a visual of what is the same exact demon possession of the Sheriff's Department, which is fully documented on their surveillance cameras as that entity engaged in kidnapping. And those demons of that Sheriff's Department had 4 and 5 shadows, as I've already documented, and I'm repeating it because it is directly relevant to what is wrong with them while they are in those positions. Those are demons working for law enforcement, engaging in criminal conduct in the state of California in concert with the people of the state of California. All right, and this is speaking to the relevance of that documentation and the condition of those engaging in this criminal conduct in violation of Title 18, 7GZJ 728. Sitting in traffic of the same demon possession, stalking, being a predator, monitoring, demonstrating that same demon possession with the rest of the entity. It is no different with regard to what is demon possession. You're talking about what is relevant for that criminal conduct, which is terrorism by the demon possessed who are engaging in federal stalking. That is, it's currently 9:41 a.m. 8SJF 028, 8KAF 129 at 4th Street in Santa Anita. I thought that was Burtech. AGR Transportation LLC, U.S. dot 3488. I can't really see that one. You can scratch that. But they are crossing path, creating light activity, directed light, while they are covering up the fake sun as they drive by the bus. All right, that's stalking. That's the terrorism. FedEx crossing path. Estinson Logistics crossing path. 8TAG 753. And it's also relevant. These commercial actors, you need to know these companies and what they're doing with to American citizens. 5NGW 753, I believe.
Left 61, Fontana.
Federal law requires masks on board.
LJG 76. You can scratch that. I can't really see that one. It is though 9:42 a.m.
Left 61, Fontana.
7WYW361 at Etowanda and San Bernardino Avenue. Walmart crossing path under the fake sun where it is over that intersection. At 9:44 a.m. And that is Burtech crossing path at the red light of Etowanda. 4U13218 at Commerce Drive and San Bernardino Avenue at 9:46 a.m. 8DQE963 at Citrus and San Bernardino Avenue at 9:55 a.m. 33370N2 A&A Trucking, Rancho Cucamonga, where that commercial vehicle, crossing path 8XDX 806 at the same intersection, Citrus and San Bernardino Avenue, 9:56 a.m. Alrighty, showing you what is the fake sun at 10 o'clock in the morning at what is Kaiser Permanente at the intersection of Marigold and Sierra Avenue, where the state is keeping its fake sun in motion. If that was actually the sun over the Ontario airport, it's not going to remain outside of my window in alignment with me through the city of Fontana. That's a real-time moving light source that is hovering, by the way, aiming what is directed light, creating what is the demented environment where you're looking at the shadow activity. Shadows in front of you is not indicative of a sun that is above you. That is the state's directed light, and also under what is a hovering light source, which is maintaining presence over that targeted individual, where the people of the state, suited in a commercial means of stalking and their individual means of stalking, inside of any establishment, including where it is, wherever that target individual may, I'm sorry, not target individual, that third party may live, all of it is a venue in that state's environment, all right? And that is the prosecution of an entity where you're identifying a government that's monitoring American citizens. And that was the state's fake sun. I'm at the intersection of Sierra and Marigold at 10 o'clock in the morning. That's mutually exclusive to being over the Ontario Ovitt Family Community Library, as I've documented, over the 280 North Lemon Apartments, while I'm at that venue of the Ontario Ovitt Family Community Library, over the Museum of History and Art at 10 o'clock in the morning, over the B&G Plaza at 10 o'clock in the morning, across from me at the county building where I'm remaining in Ontario on Hope Boulevard, you have what is being over me in the city of Upland, the same central presence over my head. Okay, that is called stalking with light, and it is revealing what is a demonic practice, where you are targeting a single person. And I happen to be an American citizen. This is occurring in the United States, and this is speaking to what is a demented targeting system that is prosecuted, and necessarily so as a matter of justice, as the terrorism that it is. MTNMARM at, let me see, 10:04 a.m. crossing path 5 PCT 518. EMP 004. 8KNW 812 at Merrill and Sierra Avenue at 10:06 a.m. 91267D1 8X98259 7LIU 094 6PDX 269 8TIG 992. And it's 10:07 a.m. passing CEASELESS Avenue and Sierra. For YGX. Oh, I can't really see that one. You can try some. 8XJE479 6YJL397 1234-501 Omnitrans. See 8GJS740 7BSV940 7YJJ973 8PMJ434 02283D3 8MQN657 and it is 10:08 a.m. These are demons at the intersection of Sierra Avenue and Orange Way, where the fake sun is right over them. And you remember what is the environment that they're in. This is intentional presence 5WVC 719. All of them stalking. 8MFZ 853. And fake sun over Fontana Metrolink train station.
Service by blocks 10, 14, 15.
And that was bus number 1370395. Bus 1324, driven by employee number 2650. He has a very heavy dose of demon possession. That's relevant context. I just want to be clear. This is demon possession as I'm exposing it, and the criminal conduct that they are engaging in pursuant to that condition on behalf of a government. But I want to be clear, that specific employee, 2650, engages in a very strong demonstration of demon possession, all right? A very disturbed actor. Representing Omnitrans, representing the people. License 1420090. And the state's fake sign is over the Fontana Metrolink train station. Omnitrans stalking. This is the supervisor. Present, license plate 1410073. It's 10:10 a.m. Alrighty. 5KHG 772. BTP or BIP, sorry, 670. That's a red and white license plate. I believe that is, yeah, Colorado. License plate. PNW 803. Alrighty, license 8 UFE 298. 6H03860, 6YTY 409, 5EXU 560, 4ROT 087, 8NHS 009, 873390Y2, 4MAS 527, 21106R2, 8KIM 238. And again, it is 10:12 a.m. I did take a picture so you can see the fake sun that's over me as I am moving from what is that bus stop into the parking lot of the Metrolink train station, where the state's fake sun is directly over me. And you're looking at a group stalker with the Colorado license plate stalking in the parking lot, maintaining relevant position. He's doing so under the fake sun. All right, and you can clearly see that. That's what I took pictures of. It's 10:12 a.m. I want to show you the engineered light. All right, that is the state's fake sun. That is the state's engineered light where these vehicles are parked in the parking lot, and where this is clearly the state's light source that is remaining over me. And that is impossible light activity as well, appearing in the shade on the opposite side of the vehicles, where the fake sun is on the opposite side. So you're talking about that, which would be shade, that would be manifest. You're looking at what is that engineered light and that concentration of that engineered light as it's hitting surfaces around. This is that which the state molests the body with, okay? 8WEU 711, 8TPV 722, 7GXJ 355, 6KQB 125, 8YPL 294, IMBT-MN7, 7EBW 203, TMAWLIN, 5VME 028, 8UJJ 629, 7ZAB 780, 5GPK 527, oh, gotta show you. License 8UQJ 554, and I think I read those. 8WKJ 280, 5FMM 611, 8RRS 485. All right, and they are creating light activity pursuant to the demonic behavior pattern while they're stalking with flashing light. All right, and that's right behind me in the parking lot of the Metrolink. And I will get those demons that are acting in a commercial capacity, the same condition of demon possession. Monitoring on communication devices, knows exactly who I am, and is monitoring in the same exact fashion in what is directed light under the fake sun. And it's 10:15 a.m. 7SYY840, 7WSM 603. This is, by the way, the prosecution of the municipality. This is City of Fontana. Okay, and this is Metrolink. And this is Omnitrans that is also maintaining presence at this venue. 7KIU444. 8JHU372. 50997C3. 7PNR156, 8XRG769, 5ZQH872, 5XPY231. Convergent. Convergent is spelled CONVRGINT. Paper plate on that commercial vehicle, BE36P48. License 7NCV146, 03163Z2, 7JTV007, 86221R1, 5DBF659, 8HWM122, 7LYC818, 8PEF875, 8C88540, 7XJA684, 8LEP569, 5PMW694, SLTW SLTYWIP, 8CAS 702. Let me show you these utility workers stalking. All right, those utility workers associated with license 8TIN 606. He walks away under the fake signs, uses his car alarm as I take a picture, uses his car alarm right now, again, silently, that's flashing of the lights as I walk past his vehicle. He's monitoring, and that's a demon that's doing so, in that utility jacket, okay, with that cap on, under the fake sun, which I'm also showing you in a picture while I'm in the city of Fontana at 10:17 a.m. 11806V2, and the one creating light activity, this is stalking in the path. License plate 8TXC327. All right, taking another image of a group stalker wearing nothing but a utility uniform while he's stalking in the path as I go to get the license plate, which he's fully anticipating, studying his communication device under the fake sun in directed light. These are demons wearing a particular sort of outfit in relevant position, patrolling as you see them walking on the sidewalk, maintaining presence on behalf of the state, monitoring with communication devices, and demonstrating demon possession of the same exact condition. All right, P.O.C. It is currently 10:19 a.m. (8XCA 705), in case I didn't read that one. 7WJN 964. A demon that went to Cal Poly Pomona, where the state was keeping its fake sun over me, by the way, in Pomona while I was parked on Valley. And that police department was stalking in the path, stalking with planes and helicopters over my vehicle as it was in Pomona, by the way. Just thought I'd bring that up. Cal Poly Pomona is the third-party facilitating venue. Bus number 2354, maintaining light activity under the fake sun. License 1545485. That driver is on camera getting on the bus right now. He's been monitoring while I'm walking through the parking lot, maintaining light around the perimeter, and the fake sun is moving in real time over my head. This is P.O.C. Alrighty, and Omnitrans at Orange Way and Sierra Avenue, bus number 1313 at 10:22 a.m. in relevant position.
Route 66.
That's audible activity under the fake sun. All right, this is Fontana Metrolink train station, where the state is over in the city of Fontana, remaining over me. Okay, it's not just in Fontana, the state following to the city of Fontana. That is the entity following, that are the people of the state following. That's called stalking. All right, and the incredible manner of doing it, by the people through an environment, and doing it by planes and helicopters. That's called terrorism. And it is also revealing what are demons that are engaging in that criminal system together in violation of Title 18 because they're monitoring with communication devices. It's 10:23 a.m. That's P.O.C. Alrighty, 10:25 a.m. at Orange Way and Sierra. State's fake sun is right over the intersection. 8FJG 969 43811B3 J773KO. Stalking at a stoplight. All right, I'm showing you what is relevant positioning, and they're all monitoring with communication devices. These are demons lined up: 6ABJ847, 8DAL061, 43811B3, 8WED533, 69586R1, 7YPJ315, 8PCF835, 7JVK617. Fontana Police crossing path, driving north on Sierra Avenue under the same exact fake sun that I just took a picture of. They're monitoring, and that is a demon-possessed agency. Okay, it's not just that one driver that's demon-possessed. This is a state system, and that is the engagement by law enforcement, demons alike. Okay, criminal conduct as I'm prosecuting it. 5RLX9758YX6069 Washington plate. R 52141 5KBL 955 8EHX 069 5ZXL 058 7DB3 676. That's Frito-Lay. Or it looks like yeah, that's Frito-Lay. BA 471. That's a handicap license plate. AFT 330. Looks like 8 LPG 708. Or is that BLPG 708? That's 8 LPG 708. 6 WVB 651. United States Postal Service. You already know about those demons. They are in the path, using the roads and the highways to engage in federal stalking. They're also terrorists. 6T10272. USPS vehicle number 8203-673. License 7WZZ 786, 7TKH 306, 8KRF 237, 8WPB 423, 8PDV 093. 8RLL 776, 6AVB 700, 8ULT 400, 6447 2C2, 7WFL 897. This is 56844U2 Skyline Towing. FTL 754. Five SIS 450. 5 SVC 557. 6 KOE 988. 7 NLR 739. AW60C07. That's paper. 8LJA 278, 8SDP 261, 6WEF 208, 8EIN, I can't really see that one, 7GWE 017, and 8MBU 108. 6MFY 860, 7VBD 840, 5UMC 187, 8HPJ 173, 7TNH 353, 7KQL 701, 6WXR 801, 8XDY 674. Metrolink is crossing path on the street. City of Fontana crossing path on the street. City of Fontana's license 1492682. It's 10:31 a.m. That is the sound of plane engines. I'm showing you what is a fake sun right over me. You can see the street sign. I'm at Arrow Boulevard in Sierra in Fontana. 98882C2. 7EKF145 8VGX262 97610A3. 9G45663. All Cartage Transportation Incorporated. 8NYM360 02902D3. 8NYM360 molesting with directed light. 6DZS772. 36076L1. I'm showing you what is the picture of that group stalker that is stalking, sitting in his truck while I'm being molested with directed light, communication device on his face. He's monitoring under the fake sun that's over the street sign. It is 10:32 a.m. That's the surveillance that the people engage in. 7HCS320, 64749M2, 8PDA619, 6ZWZ836, 39616R1, 8PDD807. 7XZH014 8PTA351 7R. I can only see that one. Seven UTX482 85734K2. I think I read this one. Yeah, I read that one already. 7R. But yeah, I can't really see that one. I'll read this one in a second. Okay. R7RBA878, 5PRW165, 79594U1, 7DBD326. 7KFG932, 5GUW513, 6WTT757, 6VZP354. And when I took a picture of it, you're looking at what is stalking by the people at an intersection. All right, they're demons who are maintaining presence in that demonic environment, and also while they're engaged in that ongoing pattern, speaking to what is knowledge of who I am, where I am, and acting on behalf of that state that is stalking, whose pattern of conduct the people of the state are vicariously engaged in on behalf of that government, which is directed light. And the state's fake sun is captured over that intersection where those demons that are the people of the state, the third parties, are patrolling as one. And I want to be clear, at this time at 10:34 a.m., I am already inside, for example, of the Fontana Lewis Library, and I have captured what is the state's fake sun that's over the roof of that venue as I am approaching the entrance, all right? So you have what is the state's fake sun that is moving in real time. This is that which I've already established, but I'm speaking to the consistency of my documentation, showing what is the stalking conduct by a people in concert with a state. That is terrorism, while the state is stalking with a fake sun. That is not possibly visible over the roof of the Fontana Lewis Library, where I'm at the intersection. I would not be able to capture it. Well, the state places that hovering light source that if it was actually the sun would set that library on fire, all right, but I would not be able to capture it nonetheless. That was actually the fake, the actual sun over that library, which at this time, 10:34 a.m., I've already documented the state putting it over the roof of that library as I'm at the entrance already. All right, it's where I am at that intersection, where the people are present in the path and in directed light, because they're all stalking together. 8LZW328, 54388R1, 6ZND170. That's audible activity by demons using construction vehicles. And you can prosecute case. Right, they're using that vehicle as a means of audible activity under the fake sun. That's the name of that construction vehicle they're using. Using water pressure. Let me show you this. These are demons creating activity, stalking in the path, okay? No different than the fire department on the opposite side of the same parking lot using a commercial truck while directed light spans across. That's audible activity of that loud truck under the fake sun. It's the same P.O.C. License plate 06331F1. This is Fontana Water Company, California 158502. That's P.O.C. This is City of Fontana license 1194392. That is how you're maintaining noise in what is engineered light under that which is not the sun. That is remaining over me as I am crossing path. They are stalking in the path, maintaining that environment. City of Fontana, Fontana Water Company. Okay, and using a construction vehicle. Let me be clear, in the same way that City of Ontario, for example, uses John Deere or whatever vehicle they want to use. It's the same thing with any commercial actor. You're going to identify that brand, all right? And they're going to be dragged into federal court and identified with what is terrorizing American citizens, and sexually violating American citizens. And this is the identification of what is the issue with a government that is monitoring. Even though those companies are not victims, but this is how you're going to prosecute that. The target individual can identify the name of the construction vehicle that is used to create audible activity while they're in that state's environment. And you can prosecute case as the company, the commercial actor, through which the people of the state are using to terrorize and stalk, all right, monitor in concert with the state. That's exactly how that works. 8HAN 898, 8TWH 570, 5SJG 881, 8ATR 152. 8SMP 344, LILKAY, 8URL 089, 7FFW 134, 8YOT 177, 8BQW 633, 7BXS 360, 8 GPF 480, 7BXS 360, 8JHF 755, 7UZK 256. Paper BU09L02, 6MDJ092, 02164L2, 7EKE 595, 8LGS029, 6KPW 560, 8VRK037, 8VLX 961, 8WPL 117. This is a stalker meeting, tracking my steps, 5UH8770. And I took a picture of that. You're looking at what is crossing path in the parking lot, knowing exactly where I stand, and the fake sun is right over them while they're stalking. 8XDR584. It is 10:39 a.m. Alrighty, you're looking at the same conduct on foot, tracking where I'm moving. That's called crossing path, and you're looking at what is directed light underneath the structure of the Steelworkers Amphitheater. All right, under that which is not the sun. So you're understanding the pattern, what the state is doing, stalking with its engineered light, and it's also the practicing of demonic conduct to do so, stalking with light. This is P.O.C. It's 10:39 a.m. I'm at the Fontana Lewis Library in the city of Fontana. All right, and this is speaking to all that is encompassed in the state's pattern of conduct occurring inside of that venue. And this is P.O.C. All right, documentation of what is essentially the current demons who are maintaining shift, engaging in surveillance inside of the venue of the Fontana Lewis Library. It is perpetual maintenance of presence in the path vicariously on behalf of the public entity in whose environment Fontana Lewis Library is within, and every third-party group stalking minion the same, okay? And so this is literally a change of shifts and demons as the entity is maintaining presence and maintaining activity, the demonic behavioral pattern underway, stalking with noise, all right, as I am on the internet, on the communication device, and this is what they're doing. It's entirely demented, who I am capturing in the images, engaging in that demented activity, which is the pattern of conduct. These are demons that are surrounding, and that is the documentation of what is ongoing terrorism and what is the venue, all right, that happens to be named the Fontana Lewis Library and Technology Center in the city of Fontana. And so that is my documentation of that. It is currently 6:48 p.m. All right, it is 6:53. That is the entity stalking inside of the private space. And this is the sex offender with ongoing knowledge of your documentation, engaging in surveillance in concert with the entity that is surrounding inside and outside of the bathroom. Okay, that's the violent sex offender. It is 6:53 p.m. at Fontana Lewis Library. All right, I want to make sure that I document that not only are you aware of what is blatant stalking and then entrance into the private space to further engage in stalking, which is entirely demented and terrorizing and predatory conduct. Okay, you have what is entering inside of that private space as they are stalking with audible activity, watching your every move, tracking your every step, and entering into the private space in order to maintain that presence as they are anticipating you're going there. And that's exactly what they do. As I'm capturing what is the documentation while they're stalking in the path, and these are demons sitting around stalking with noise all day. These demented stalkers, all right, these demon-possessed stalkers, life-threatening conduct that they're engaging in contact with the government, then go inside of the bathroom in order to maintain presence there in the event that you go there, which is exactly what they are doing, stalking in the path, making sure they're manning the path, and that's the violent sex offender, okay? This is Fontana Lewis Library. It's 6:56 p.m., and the entity is maintaining presence inside of the private space as I speak, and that is P.O.C. All right, that is the African-American security guard. She's a female with a large puff on her head called Absolute International Security, maintaining presence in the bathroom. That predatory conduct of entrance upon my packing up my property. All right, that's in order to maintain presence in that venue and understand they're acting in concert with the third-party group stalkers that are of the male sex who are stalking in the path inside of the men's restroom as well. All right, this is how they're engaging in surrounding, and this is the sexual violence of that sex offender. All right, engaging in all manner of stalking inside of that private space. It's 6:59 p.m. and that is whom you're hearing audibly in the background, maintaining that presence, stalking in the bathroom, an employee of the venue as well. 6:59 p.m. Alrighty, and that image is captured upon exit of the private space, and this is again with knowledge of what I'm doing on my phone, even at the second that demon walks out. That demon is bearing as a badge of the security guard company, which I believe is called Absolute International Private Security, something like that. I will find that out and document. There's sex offenders. They're of the same demon possession. You're talking about identifying demons that are wearing different types of uniforms, maintaining different statuses. It's demonic activity in California, and that's the sex offender documenting, maintaining presence inside of a bathroom. That's the extent to which the entity is stalking. That is the extent to which the entity is engaging in federal stalking and in the bathroom. That is the sort of terrorism and sexual violence that the entity routinely resorts to, and that is why and how you were talking about what is Title 18. Which is policy that does not go far enough when you're talking about what is not mere criminal conduct by the government. It is the practicing of demonic possession. This is a demented government. This is a depraved government. This is demon possession upon criminal conduct, and all the ways in which that demented activity is manifest, and the ways in which you are going to hone in on that criminal conduct and prosecute it for every facet of that sort of terrorism that the entity engages in. Okay. It's currently 7:01 p.m. and the demon crossing path in the parking lot. They are driving in directed light, and they are aiming light, engaging in the demonic conduct of aiming that light in the path. 8JGJ927, monitoring with children, monitoring with communication devices, creating light activity. It is 7:01. Demons are sitting outside on the bench, maintaining presence, monitoring with communication devices, and these are demons that maintain ongoing knowledge of what you're doing in the private space. You have the same entity that goes to the extent of entering inside of the bathroom to stalk you in there. Okay, and I've shown you how far they go. If you're talking about an entity that stalks with a fake sun and molests with light that is not naturally occurring, they want to touch, they want to be everywhere, they want to invade. That is the sex offender. That includes the Fontana Police Department that's crossing path under the fake sun. That's crossing path in directed light while your shadow is surrounding. That's the demented stalker stalking inside of that private space, acting in concert with that group stalker that's maintaining presence. They're one entity, and it is the same demonic entity. Okay, 6YMX047, 7RRD675. That's audible activity in directed light of a demon-possessed stalker. 6NTJ174, 8TXP606. 7GVJ628, 7DGB208, 8WPL117, 7EVV162, 9TMAR3, 8HVL224, 5GUK477, 8BQW633. All right, and that demon uses her vehicle. That's the pattern. As I walk past them, they use them to operate. That was a demon saying Happy Thanksgiving. This demon has 4 shadows. All right, that's the demon using audible activity to say Happy Thanksgiving while she's stalking. All right, 8BQW633. She's a psychopath and she's a sex offender. All right, 8EKS366. License plate 8VLX961. Ontario Fire Department crossing path to the impossible audible activity of Metrolink train. Stalking with light, the same sex offender monitoring me in the bathroom, okay? License plate, 1445606. All right, they're aiming light into, adding light to the atmosphere, BU00D34. You've got the police over here in the parking lot of the Fontana Chamber of Commerce while the fire department crosses path right here. Captured an image of that. They're stalking in the parking lot and molesting at the same time. Let me be clear. This entire entity that is tracking my steps right now are stalking in the bathroom. That's what that demon-possessed stalker is engaging in concert and on behalf of the entirety of the entity. The Fontana Police Department, the San Bernardino County Fire Department, right here in relevant position at Arrow, that fire department agency, 38015U2. Engaging in monitoring an American citizen while my panties are down, tracking my every move, including the moment when I'm pulling my panties up and down. That's what they're doing. And this is how you're engaging in that stalking step by step, because that's exactly what they're doing right now. All right. Demons driving by, pacing around. I read that license plate. This one drives the opposite direction. Those are demons that are pacing. All right, and I'm not going to worry about that. I want to get the license plates of these demons that are stalking, hiding under the Fontana parking lot, and this demon that's stalking in the path already knew that, and that's why they're pulling out right now. That's a predator that also wants to touch, but knows exactly what I'm saying as I'm saying it. 8SMX505, sex offender. 8NXX265. Okay, was sitting in the parking garage at 7:05 p.m. Sitting in the parking garage, aiming light. Understand? Acting with the Fontana Police, acting with the fire department. All of them are driving around in light. They're in directed light. That's why you got multiple shadows. These are the demon possessed, okay? And they're engaging. And this is what you're going to remember. The pattern of conduct is continuous. They are in that bathroom, monitoring and stalking and engaging in surveillance as well. Okay, 7LYM57L, BD51P39, 7GKF014, 5JXH805, 7BNE252, 7KJN322, 5BRR122, 8ADH024, 8RRS854, 7XBA150, 5R4077L. That group stalker is sitting in their car. 6VWB623. 5. Oh, I'm sure I read that one already. Let me read this one over here. 7MZJ084. 8KUA479, DJ4. This is a Utah plate. It looks like D146AC. I read that one already. I don't think I read these. Hold on. 7CQW413, 1492696. I think that's a city vehicle. 8XZV313, 7SER600. It is, by the way, 7:08 p.m. $5R40770. All right, and you're hearing that train while that demon-possessed stalker sitting in 5RO4770 is stalking in the path. All right, that's the criminal conduct Metrolink is engaged in. Just like Union Pacific, it's the same pattern. You are not going to hear the Metrolink train on Lerner at the property of the Fontana, walking out of the garage of the parking garage of the Fontana Lewis Library. All right, that's the pattern the state engages in. And that's the same thing Fontana police were doing, stalking in the parking lot of Fontana Chamber of Commerce in relevant position, in directed light, while the San Bernardino County, that's the John B. Roberts Fire Station specifically, demonstrating demon possession of that agency, engaging in crossing path while that impossible audible activity of what's supposed to be the train is heard. All right, 8YAG 380, 8YIS 561, 7JHM 406, 8NKP 768. And again, you have what is tethering to what is specific knowledge of who I am, where I am, and that ongoing P.O.C. applies in the bathroom. That's a very violent sex offender. All right, that is speaking to what is not only the threat to your life, but very far, going to a very, very far extent to engage in that ongoing tracking of what you are doing as you are doing it, everywhere that you are doing it. Okay, that's what stalking in the bathroom reveals. All right, SFPHIL1, and that's all you are doing when you have established, which I have, the pattern of conduct. When you've got directed light it pointed at you in a restaurant, all right, when a restaurant where there is absolutely no possible way that that's naturally occurring, nor that it could occur, but for an ongoing pattern of that which I have established, and it's also indicative of demonic activity, a demon possession. All right, this is impossible to occur more than one time, okay? Once, you could say, wow, that was just a crazy experience, but you're talking about a pattern, and then I go to a different place, such as Carl's Jr. I've never been to that Carl's Jr. before. All right, not that it's a different city. I documented Upland, but I've never been to that specific Carl's Jr. And you're looking at what is that exact pattern, okay? That is speaking to specific knowledge of where I am, everywhere that I am. The fake sun is the same demonstration of that, all right? Amplification of audible activity is the same demonstration of that. And you have what is specific stalking activity by a government, by the people, who are then stalking in the bathroom, listening to me pull down my panties, running into the bathroom to make sure they can stay engaged in a presence in that bathroom, all right? And doing so, that is something that exceeds Title 18 monitoring with communication devices, by the way, because they are monitoring, but understand that this is demonic activity and it exceeds that criminal purpose. This is a violent sex offender. This demonic activity is exceeding mere Title 18 conduct. And that is where S.I.I.S. policy needs to come into play. All right. And that's exactly how you're going to prosecute. The Fontana Police Department are violent sex offenders. All right. They're demon possessed stalkers, and they are to be disbanded as an agency, posing a very threat to the public. All right. And you're talking about engaging literally hand in hand in criminal conduct and sexual violence and terrorism. All right. With the people of the state. Okay, they are the demon possessed, engaging in that track and conduct. That is ambush-like conduct. That is no different than the state flying over me by helicopter, having the fire department molest with light, the police department in relevant position, in alignment in what is directed light, while you're surrounded by multiple shadows of the freak weirdos who are all maintaining corporate knowledge of what you're doing in the bathroom, and then physically stalking in the bathroom, because she is not acting by herself. She's acting as an entity. All right. And they are going in there, running in there as I'm packing up my stuff, anticipating my presence inside of the bathroom. That's a sex offender. That's a stalker. All right. That's a predator that is acting in concert with all of these stalkers out here. Molesting. 8WKG867. Hiding around a corner, coming around, listening to every word that I'm saying. That's a white pimple-faced female with 4 eyes. License 7JHM406, and doing so, engaging in molestation while they're listening to me. I'm going to prosecute the entirety of the entity for every sexual act of molestation. All right. And this is the conduct that they are engaging as defeated demons. Or understand this is the reality of their condition. The demon possessed are violent psychopaths. All right. They are posing a danger while the police department, the sheriff's department, the fire department engaging in criminal conduct hand in hand. All of them demon possessed. Okay. And every criminal act, they're engaging in an ongoing molestation while this demon is pacing back and forth. She drives around in the parking lot. There is ample parking spaces. She drove around me, and now she is in the middle of the road going forward and backward. That's a demon that is stalking with light in the path. She's a psychopath and a sex offender engaging in molestation on behalf of the entity. Wanting to change the subject as well, though, let me be clear. That's exactly what they engage in, sexual violence, as they listen to me prosecute them via my podcast and my video documentation. How are you? Oh, you've been sitting in your car? Engaging in sexual violence as well. I'm gonna get you.
Get the fuck
Or
outta
what?
here.
Or what?
Get
or what?
the fuck away from me.
No, you get away from me. You get away from me. Thank you very much, but I will be getting you.
What are you doing?
Thank you.
Oh my God, Sarah.
Thank you. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, Sarah. Listen to the demons. Listen to them. She's sitting in her car. That is license plate 7XMG385, sitting in her car molesting, all right? Engaging in stalking in the parking lot the entire time, has double shadows, and gets out as this other demon, 8WKG867. Let me tell you something. These are lily white females, demon-possessed ones, who are now lording a relevant position, all right? Monitoring with the state, in directed light, all right? And engaging in what is harassment while I'm documenting that, and I'm gonna document you. Okay, like I said, I'm documenting what are their images as they engage in molestation together and her audible activity, and the same demon honks her horn again while she's stalking in the path. Thank you. You have the same demon that engages in, you heard her language while I'm taking her picture, hold on. While I'm taking her picture, 7:15, sorry, p.m. I'm looking at the time. It's 7:15 p.m. and I'm capturing her images, and you're listening to her audible activity of what is, let me show you this as well, hold on. All right, I captured video of what is the psychopath. Well, you're listening to it. You're listening to what are psychopaths. All right, she's in operation. First of all, I want to break down what you heard. Get the F away from me while I'm documenting her like I'm trying to touch her. I don't want to touch, let me just leave it out. I don't need to touch any third-party group stalking psycho. She is stalking me. This is the breakdown of what's actually going on. And also, I wanted to show you video of what I've already established, all right? That you have the state's environment and you have this, these are psychopaths. Let me be clear. This is the same demon possession psychopaths that I'm encountering in the underage age of 14. While they are creating a scene in the library, while they're monitoring and they know I'm documenting them, engaging in creation of a scene and then stating to the librarian, all of whom are monitoring together, that they suddenly don't feel safe. All right, this is the malice with which the entity engages in. And so you have what is my capturing her image, which is documentation, which I'm going to do, and using my camera is in no way affecting her. She should be going about her business, right? She is sitting in the darkness, stalking in the parking lot, and gets out after that molestation that I documented on my podcast, and then getting on her phone as though there's been some violation of her rights, which there hasn't. I can use my phone however I want, whether she likes it or not. And there is nothing that you're going to tell the police, but you have what is monitoring in concert with the police, who, by the way, were already stalking in the parking lot. That's what I took a picture of upon my exit. All right, and so I captured video of what is directed light while she is on my podcast speaking to what is audible activity while she says get the F away from me, like she is the victim. That is Satan. Understand that. These are psychopaths. I'm going to prosecute for that because you need to understand the malice with which these sex offending, this is the same entity. This one is the same one stalking in a bathroom. All right, she's stalking in a dark parking lot. Paper plate BS76Z78 8KQJ229. She is stalking in a parking lot, and I am showing you what are triple shadows, an abnormal environment where she is stalking, and that is already established. But you're understanding what are psychopaths that you are dealing with, okay? And so she is engaging in conducting herself like she is being threatened. I'm taking her picture, first of all, and this is, first of all, hostility to documentation. This is really what it is. And you have what is conducting herself like she's going to call the police. This is what they engage in all the time. This is what that little demon possessed stalker was engaging in yesterday. She's monitoring and talking about, I don't feel safe, after she is engaging and threatening me and acting like she's going to do something. And then she immediately, I don't feel safe. That's the malice with which the demon-possessed act. And then they're engaging and she's cussing like she's feeling threatened, and they're standing there, remaining standing there in relevant position. They're not going anywhere. She's not running for her safety. She's not trying to get away from me, acting like I'm attacking her. She's not doing any of that. And you have other demons that are coming in and patrolling around in directed light, all right, while the state is stalking via aircraft and while I have shadows around me. That's what I'm documenting. Those are psychopaths. And let me be clear, that is the same exact condition of every single last one. This is demonic at its core. These are unstable psychopaths. That's exactly why there are many people that are going to federal prison, and you're disbanding law enforcement agencies, and they engage in that sexual molestation, like I stated, as they listen to what are the federal repercussions of their conduct. And as they engage in that molestation, you have her, this white female, who is engaging in use of her communication device and directed light, because that's what that is. And you have what is, she's stalking in the darkness. She's sitting in there stalking, listening to every word that I'm saying, and engaging in a molestation while she's monitoring with the other psychopath that's driving circles around me in the empty parking lot. Okay, that is covered in directed light. All right, that's P.O.C. And I'm so glad that you witnessed this time and time again. You have this conduct by what are absolute sexually violent, unstable psychopaths, engaging in entirely malicious conduct. And that is why you are focusing on the elements, and that is why I'm showing you the environment that they're in, and that's why they're going to federal prison. Okay? Because that's the conduct that you're engaging in on concert of a government, and then you think because there's a whole bunch of you that are going to claim falsely that you're the one that's being wrong when it's the government. That's the entire system in operation. The entire one. The entire system. I'm going to document these license plates. License 8PVB 599, 8BRZ 409, 7APM 462, 15215M2, Sheriff's Department crossing path, 7WCM 076, license 7VOK 195, 6JIP 732, 6TBF 715. And that's the psychopath screaming, "Get the F away from me." That white lady has a very dirty mouth. And that's the reality of she would like to conduct herself, but that's the true nature of her. That's her true nature, okay? She's a filthy beast and a sex offender. License 8GGC 902. That's what comes out of her mouth while I get her picture, 8GYU 098. And I'm not gonna be bashful. She's not bashful about monitoring me. I'm not bashful about documenting her. 7XZY 033. But when you're dealing with what is a government that's operating a criminal system that's supposed to be premised on the fact that you're the one that has the issue and it's not everybody else, when the reality is it actually is everyone else. 7ROS 787. The people of the state is everyone else. The government itself is everyone else. All right? And she's engaging in the threat of criminal summoning while she stands around talking about "Get the F away from me" and getting on her foot. Oh my gosh, you heard her in the background. Oh my gosh, like she's so terrified. She just got through molesting my entire body. 6CYM400. Yeah, they're going to federal prison. 8MIG500. That's exactly why. That's an impermissible threat. They engage in kidnapping. 850KH. That's the P.O.C. All right, that's your intent. 78EZ656. 6YUM729. Yeah. Can I help you?
Yeah, we're gonna go across it.
Don't you need to go down the pathway? You going over the curb?
Yeah, straight ahead.
Okay. I thought you would need to go down the driveway. 26648P2. That's audible activity. 7ETH917. Like I said, you would need to go down the driveway. Like I said, that's audible activity. I wasn't in his way. That's audible activity. Anyway, 8JRK776. Operation of a communication device. I'm showing you the double and triple shadows. These psychopaths are all monitoring. They're in directed light. You already know that. It is P.O.C. And by the way, when you're listening, and this is why you document, because it doesn't change what was happening 5 minutes earlier when Metrolink is creating audible activity, which you cannot hear. Directed light, double and triple shadows does not occur under an ordinary street lamp, okay, in the parking lot. And this is routine everywhere that I'm going, everywhere, in whatever city. I've documented this. You have what is that audible activity. That's the impermissible threat. That is why they are worthy of going to federal prison. Kidnapping is the P.O.C. All right, 7FRT767. And that white woman thinks that she can start screaming. And what is that you're automatically going to go down the narrative that I'm some black woman who's posing a threat to her when she is monitoring me. That is an outrage. They're going to federal prison. You're going to federal prison. 7HHB 342. And they are the sex offenders. This is what is so outrageous about it. 7HWS 545. But I have the documentation, and you saw it. When I'm capturing that picture of her, she is sitting in the darkness in her car, stalking, monitoring on a communication device. And then as I capture her picture, because she's sitting in her car being the stalker she is in directed light, in amplified audible activity, and her audible activity, you heard the true nature of that psychopath. All right? Using and operating under a stereotype like she's threatened by me, and she is a psychopath, a demon-possessed stalker monitoring me. Kidnapping is the P.O.C. That's why they're going to federal prison. 6RZD449, 6RDC456. That's why they're going to prison. They are going to prison. License plate 7KIU444. That is an impermissible threat. All right, so in every way, that's Metrolink and Fontana PD. That's P.O.C. indirect light, 7:26 p.m. License plate, they're going to federal prison. Let me give you the license, 1500375, federal prison. Operation of communication device, terrorism. License plate, don't try to wave and be nice. That's Satan. He knows exactly what I'm saying. They are going to federal prison. You don't understand kidnapping. Well, you're going to understand my documentation. Kidnapping, the act of criminal summoning, you're monitoring with the entity that you are trying to summon. When you're engaging in criminal conduct, that is absurd. All right, it is literally the most malicious system that you can fathom, okay? And I have documented it, and I documented it for a purpose, because they're going to federal prison. You don't get to threaten. We're not doing that. 1234515-81910X1, and they're going to federal prison. I will have that lily white woman who thinks that she can operate off of some false stereotypes in the United States, in California, and I'll have her put in federal prison. 7GMY470, and that's exactly the threat that she represented. I'm not just talking hyperbolic because my blood pressure is out. I'm not just getting excited. She's engaging in waging a threat. She is engaged in a molestation, as I documented. She's engaged in terrorism. I'm showing you my double, triple shadows. She's monitoring with the state. The fire department was molesting. The police department in the parking lot, molesting with light, stalking while Metrolink is the audible activity, all manner of a threat while you are stalking in the path and then engaging in the waging of that threat like you are going to have me put away somehow when you are in violation of the law, regardless of the fact that the government has not yet been forced to recognize the rights of the American citizens that it is targeting. All right, you want to act like the system doesn't exist, you're going to federal prison. 7NTV045. And that's what they're operating in. They're operating under this alternate universe where the targeted individuals' constitutional rights are not respected. 04055C3. She's going to federal prison. 5YVT 505, 8KLH 809. You're going to appreciate the level of the threat that you are waging on behalf of the government. 7KPY 062, and that's where this whole problem started, because the government thinks that it can just kidnap you and place you in jail or place you into a mental ward at its own discretion, while it's engaging in unprecedented criminal conduct. And this white woman thinks that she can wage that threat. 7YHG384 50997C3. All right, you saw the light activity. You heard my entirety of my documentation while that psychopath was sitting in the dark parking lot monitoring with the police in that same parking lot. For that, you're going to go to prison. For that, you shall go to federal prison. You don't get to threaten and terrorize an American citizen like that on behalf of a government where they're documenting you. You're going to respect the documentation, because that's how you're going to prosecute the government. And any way you want to get in the way of that, that's going to intensify your federal prosecution. And that's the people. She's acting on behalf of the entirety of the people. By the way, 1596588, Victor Valley Transit, 7TCK387. All right, and guess why else she's going to federal prison? Because she's monitoring with the state that's stalking by helicopter. 43905P1, 7FSC996. All right, documenting ongoing evidence of why that lily white woman is going to go to federal prison. All right, threatening on behalf of the people of the state who are hostile because you're documenting them. This whole system, I'm going to blow it up. I've already blown it up, and you're going to go to federal prison. You don't get to threaten the American citizen who you are monitoring in concert with law enforcement. That is an egregious act of terrorism. Terrorism is no joke. And then the state flies over in helicopter. Guess what? I'm going to prosecute her with that. Okay, because that's who she's monitoring with. License F5XTX 545. All the rest of them the same. 6VYW 523, 8MEF 944, 6W89 282, 7UVS 469, 7CKF 309, 7ZPG 234, 7ZPW 872, 8THC 705. 7PGR 962, and this is an ongoing molestation while they're all stalking. 31485B3. They're all stalking, and they are all molesting together while they want to engage in trying to threaten somebody who is documenting their criminal conduct. Just because I know your condition, that you're all psychopath and demon-possessed stalkers, you're not going to be able to threaten the American citizen that's going to document you. And if you do, you're going to federal prison. 8BLX057. That's what Miss Lily White's going to learn. 7H12725, I believe. I can't really see that one. I'm so glad I captured that audio documentation. All right, she's trying to act like the black woman in the dark parking lot who she is stalking is posing a threat to her. I'm going to put her in federal prison. She's going to federal prison, and that's a matter of justice. Or let me understand this, appearance of, or this feigned, and it is an abysmal fail, like you have some sort of privilege, not only because you're a white woman, but because you are a demon-possessed stalker who's operating in a system who has yet to be exposed on the public stage, acting on behalf of the government, not just a white woman that is acting in concert on behalf of the government. All right, now do not mistake me. This is not about race. Demon possession, as I have shown you. Tracy Banks is black, okay? Eric Corey Spencer is blacker. All right, those black faces in the library I'm capturing, they're monitoring. It has nothing to do with race. But that is what she is drawing upon when she wants to scream in the dark parking lot, well, she's stalking me. 6WXR468. And she's going to federal prison for that. You don't get to threaten the American citizen that you're monitoring on behalf of the government. That's flying over my head in helicopter 1420027. Those are grounds for federal prison. That's what's going down with that. 7LZP 410. That's how we're going to handle that. License plate 6W89665. And you need to understand how that is easily ratcheted up into a situation of kidnapping for the ordinary target individual who does not know the law, who does not know what to say, who does not even know that they're surrounded by lying demons, okay? Engaging in the apps, they don't have any knowledge about their rights, okay? That is something that can easily turn into a kidnapping. 7BHJ708. And you're talking about shutting that threat down all the way. You're going to federal prison for that. You're going to federal prison for that, and that's documentation of that, and that is grounds of it. The state crosses paths via Fontana Police Department. I am surrounded, being molested with what is directed light, all manner of a threat. The state is flying over my head in a helicopter. The P.O.C. is continuous while she's cussing me out. This is a psychopath, okay? Stalking me. Do you understand the level of that demented stalker, all right? And that's literally what she was doing, all right? And so you have what is the waging of a threat for which you're going to go to federal prison for. You're going to go to federal prison for that. License 8UVR198, 8MDF664, 8SMS171, BSZB257, 8YHK529. The entity is documented having engaging in an ongoing terrorizing threat. That specific one, worthy of federal prison, okay? And this is setting what is a principle. All right, this is breaking down, understand the principle at play. The people thinking that they can have you kidnapped like they, no, I don't think so. I don't think so. Satan will go to prison, 8KFV201. Satan will go to prison. You're putting Satan in his place because that's a demon operating in that white woman, exercising some false notion while she is the criminal. Okay, this is flipping every stereotype on its head. She is the criminal. That white woman is the criminal. Okay, she is the stalker. She is the demented psychopath. She is the threat. All right, that's the reality of the situation. She's going to federal prison for that. She's going to federal prison for that. License, it's 7:34 p.m. Yeah, we're not doing that. I'm not doing that. And the ordinary target individual is going to be protected against that. You're going to be protected against that. They're not doing that. Sheriff's Department 1524555, P.O.C. crossing path. Let me get this because I prosecute her with that. She's in the system. There you go. All right, and then that I've already documented what the entity is engaging in. The psychopath is crossing path, communicating an ongoing threat after that white woman is in a dark parking lot stalking me in concert with this entity in directed light. That's P.O.C. 7HOE737, 8KUH804, 8GJA467. The Sheriff's Department, we're disbanding that Sheriff's Department. They are owned by Satan. The Ontario Police Department, the Fontana Police Department. You're talking about agencies that are owned by Satan. They have no business in law enforcement. None. That is the other dual purpose of documenting federal group stalking and monitoring, which is a demonic targeting system in the state of California. It is revealing those who need to be snatched out of positions of government, positions of law enforcement, positions in the medical field, positions of influence around children, around vulnerable aspects of the population. 26336F1. 7HQC061. Those companies engaging in what is practicing terrorizing American citizens, they are demon-possessed companies, owned, operated, employing, and serving the demon-possessed. You need to know that about those companies. You want to support that, you fine, do what you will, but it's going to be known. It needs to be known that needs to be out. Okay? It is currently 7:35 p.m., 8 BMG 813. 7 SAW 559, and I want to be clear, that white woman that is posing the threat, threatening my life, monitoring me in concert and on behalf of a government that's stalking in planes and helicopters, by the police department, by the sheriff's department, by the fire department, and molesting my body with that which is unnaturally occurring, which is directed light, which I also captured all of this in video before and after meeting her, okay, or not meeting her, encountering her, documenting her, which I have a right to do, and the target individual is empowered to do. It's necessarily going down, and the entity is not going to interfere with that. You're going to find yourself in federal prison. And that's what she engaged in. She's going to federal prison. You're not going to wage a threat against the liberty of the American citizen that you are monitoring. That is absurd. The government does not get to do that anymore. You don't get to do that anymore. You're going to federal prison. And every time that the entity is driving by, that's the sheriff's department driving by, the Fontana Police Department driving by, the helicopter flying over my head, while they are all molesting 7 DUJ 53, they're all sex offenders. This is an ongoing communication of a threat for which she's going to federal prison. She's engaged in all that. She was stalking and monitoring, listening to me pull my panties down in the bathroom. And she wants to engage in conducting herself like I am threatening her. That is the conduct of the psychopath, the demon-possessed stalker that I'm documenting, that I'm going to put in federal prison. I'm going to put you in federal prison. That's where you're going. That's where you're going. That's where you're going. I have zero tolerance for that. None. It is 7:37 p.m. That's the state concentrating its plane activity right here where I am at Arrow Boulevard in Sierra. License plate AY28A82 paper, AWEL 734, 8CPZ 986, 7ZEJ 982, 5NWS 441, XOA 67E, 6HTX 063, 8XAY 385, 7HLH 505. XCP260. What you're going to learn, you're going to operate off of, and you're going to create policy off of, and this is understanding, this is what this is serving, because you're going to understand why that policy is crafted the way it is. All right, Satan is entirely deceitful, operating in every way that you can fathom. 7FSG 503, entirely deceitful, using little kids. What she's talking about, I don't feel safe, malice. 8PDX 502, that is Satan. All right, acting like I'm threatening her when she's stalking. It is the entire opposite situation. Malice. That is Satan working through the people. All right, that's why you're going to create clever policy, cognizant of the malice with which the demon-possessed entity is monitoring and stalking. 7XCP260, 6AJR174. It's 7:39 p.m. License plate molesting 1292A3, substantially similar, going out of their way to touch. And she just added those federal charges to everybody. Okay, but her specifically, she going to federal prison. License 8NSS381, but it's going to be known that they're stalking on behalf of a government. They're sex offenders. 7UOX148, they're kidnappers. All right, 7MSM501, that's how that goes. They're one group acting together. 6Z36500, and those are serious charges that's going to have repercussions in your entire life, every aspect of your life. 7HXA805, 7VPS469, but that specific one, she's going to federal prison. Her and her partner. They were engaging in a sexual molestation, and then they want to try to capitalize off of some false premise, some stereotype. 8JSL528, when the reality is the black woman, the black queen that I am, she's stalking me. She's threatening me. She's threatening the wrong one. She's going to federal prison for that. License plate 29331R2, 7MWH053, 7PTN574, and I mean that. I'm going to play this very podcast. I'm going to prosecute her. 29544X1. And that's why you document the state stalking by helicopter, stalking by law enforcement, stalking by the people of the state, engaging in ongoing sexual violence. And it didn't start while she was hiding in a dark parking lot. She was stalking in the bathroom stall. It's the entirety of that entity. And then she wants to engage in that terrorizing threat. She picked the wrong day. She picked the wrong day. and the wrong person. It's 7:40 p.m. 8ERW900. Right, and then she's so terrified, she's so frightened, she's so threatened that she keeps standing around me. Engaging in ongoing monitoring. 8GCA308. 5MUJ172. 8KZN220. I'm going to choke the life out of this demonic entity. I'm going to choke the life out of it in a federal court. 8VVE172. 8YGF381. I already have it surrounded. And I'm going to choke the life out of it. It is currently 7:41 p.m. Molesting 8GIM638. Is it? Oh. 8HXZ742. They're actually smart. They got the hell out the way not to molest. This one is molesting. 8HXZ742. Excuse my language. Anyway, 6NPJ548. It's 7:41 p.m. and I crossed the street from Arrow and Sierra. So now I'm walking south on Sierra. License plate 7JPS828. License plate 6WXJ250. 8DTM446. BT86F63. That's a paper plate. Let me get these minions over here. 8EXR466. 6EPN978. 8TLK323. 8VAM374. 50266G3. Thought I heard it. 6XLR300. 5SLGO34. 5902. I can't really see that one. They're monitoring at Chirp's Cocktails. Let me get these license plates over here. Patrolling on the sidewalk next to me, going through the parking lot, got their communication devices in hand, stalking in the parking lot, sitting in the dark. That's what they do to maintain light and audible activity. 5WFD061. 7WVD548. Let me get Big Boy's license. Oh, it's not. Oh, yeah, it is. Hold on. I gotta get up here. Big boy. Let's see what we got. He wants to run off. I'm gonna get you, bruh. 6UJE672. And while I'm back here, might as well. 6YHK704. 6PSE244. 7Y16574. All right, it's 7:45 p.m. Uh-oh. What did I got? Ooh, that's not normal. License plate 3RRH574. 7BTP278. 7WXZ148. 7PQT562. License 7PGPO52. $6YHY206, but I can't really see that one that clearly. $6NFZ318. $6SQT267. $8ESB051. 8SWF321. FQR 976 or 8EQR 976. It's a Honda 8VO. I can't really see that one. See, 7 ZGS 756. OSORI03 JAYSGRL. What time is it? 7:48. By the way, I am on Sierra Avenue. I'm walking north on Sierra Avenue. I'm approaching Orange Way. Molestation by Omnitrans, Route 66. License plate 7K68981. And I want to document Omnitrans molesting from the opposite side of the street. Understand that's directed light, and I've shown you their directed light while they're molesting my body sitting at the bus stop. 1545686. Molestation at the while I'm crossing the street. All right, license. That's bus number 2355. And understand what they do. This is literally the demon-possessed stalker driving a bus. They sit around at their bus stop stalls, okay, and they move and arrive pursuant to what I am doing. So because I'm approaching the stop, you have what is Route 66. That's the tool for keeping surrounded with light, all right, molesting with light. And if it wasn't Omnitrans, it would have been some other third party. But that is how they engage in the P.O.C. Stalking with activity, stalking with presence, maintaining presence in the path, and literally doing it using a bus. All right, and that is the identification of a company engaging in such terrorism and sexual violence and stalking. It's 7:49 p.m. All right, and how else do they do that? Like I said, like I've already shown, I've already spoken to, they'll put whatever signage on the bus sign. They'll have another bus run through that says no service in order to achieve what is that purpose. Make sure something is driving by with light. Even having the demon-possessed people of the state not driving buses, entering into that train station, that's another method of doing the same thing. All right, but that's what they're doing. They put whatever on the signage. This is literal criminal activity via a transit line. Sexual violence via a transit line. Stalking via a bus transit line. It's 7:50 p.m. All right, pursuant to the P.O.C. meeting, in order to touch, listen, this is license 8DTM446. That's a molestation. Him and his demon-possessed girlfriend. They're both psychopaths and they're being sex offenders together. It's sad. License, it is 7:51 p.m. And that is at Sierra and Ceres, where they're engaging in sexual violence, okay? And that's what I'm saying. Omnitrans does the same thing, just with a bus. Right, the identification of a company. 7BSM 919. 7LFR 990. 2P05 271. 7AQW 452. Zero 2 4 3 5 8 3 or substantially similar. I don't really see that clearly. It's currently 7:52 p.m. Omnitrans crossing path, bus number 1304, that's Route 15. It's 7:53 p.m. They're going north on Sierra. right, this is molestation via. Never back far enough. That's still a touching, but I can't see the license plate. This is license plate 6FW0393, 8VAX687, 7Y61151, 8AST002. I'm at Arco, by the way, the one that's on Sierra Avenue and I want to say, oh, Merrill, Sierra and Merrill. It's 7:54 p.m. I'm also on the surveillance cameras. All right, 8TFR741 in case I did not read that one, and 4LKF594 in case I did not read that one. I did complete a purchase at the Arco, and now I'm walking back up Sierra Avenue, which would be walking north on Sierra Avenue at 7:55 p.m. This is Fontana PD. Alrighty, I want to get that license plate. I want to show you that is an image. That is license 1548428. All right, they are crossing path in what is directed light. They're stalking in concert with the people of the state, and this is also criminal facilitation. That is the state acting directly. Documentation of the people acting via third parties. That's the vicarious conduct, the vicarious presence of the state. All right, it is currently 7:55 p.m. and I did capture an image of what is crossing a path in an ongoing, perpetually maintained environment that is stalking by the Fontana Police Department, who are engaging in federal stalking in violation of Title 18, 7 EIB 859, and that is an act of terrorism as they are engaging in that visible stalking presence with knowledge of their documentation. All right, and that is also the intent to terrorize as well. It's 7:57 p.m. License plate 7BSM919. I think I already read that one though. 8WMG081. KZ6. Oh, you can scratch that. I didn't see that one. 5CWW523 6R47584. He's molesting. He or she is molesting. In other words, that is Satan molesting, because Satan's operating over all of them. All right, Satan stalking at the same intersection, maintaining presence via this third party, 92540Z2. Operation of his communication device. And that's a predator that's waiting at a stoplight, waiting to touch you, okay? In the same way, stalking in the bathroom stalls. Waiting for you to arrive, making sure they're present so they can be near you, stalking in the bathroom, monitoring you, engaging in surveillance in the bathroom on behalf of the totality of that entity, by the way, that is stalking all around outside in directed light. Let me get this license plate over here too. 8CDW571. It is 7:59 p.m. All right, license plate 8YFZ738. 4VGY823. CF4. I can't really see that one. You can scratch that. I can't see those. It's 8 p.m. on the dot. guys are such demons. Goodness gracious. Let me go this way. I'm just looking at Omnitrans as the two buses drive by and you just see directed light. Whew, goodness, it's just so demonic. They're such creepy stalkers. You see that same satanic activity, and it is shown through what is the operation of a bus line. Okay, that's Satan. Anyway, it's 8:01 p.m. I'm gonna run these license plates down. You have maintenance of presence with the bus, not parked at a bus stall, says not in service. This is just mere presence in the path and light activity maintenance with hazard lights on. And that's the same bus, by the way. Directed light is on it, and this is in the dark. Directed light across the surfaces of those buses while they're crossing the path on the street. That street was Orangeway. And his license plate, and they're all demons that are riding the bus and a demon driving the bus. They're monitoring together, and that's how they're using the buses, okay? 1387137, bus 1258. This is 1545686, bus 2355. This is Route 66. And 61, I can't see that license plate, but it's bus number 2352 at 8:02 p.m. And it was parked in the bus stall. But it says out of service, and like I said, they changed the signs to whatever. You're paying attention to what are the elements. They're systematically engaging in the elements. You're talking about what is criminal conduct, with knowledge of the fact that they're being documented. And they engage in, as I showed you time and time again, but even as of late, when I'm on Hope Boulevard, under the fake sun, by the way, that was over the Golden Bear Inn, and you have Route 84 stopping at a non-bus stop, and you have them passing by me when I am clearly visible at bus stops on a multiple occasions. This is a pattern of harassment and targeting while they know I'm documenting them, all right, showing them to be the demon-possessed stalkers and criminals that they are, all right. You have what is an entirely different bus route that doesn't even have a bus stop there while they are engaging in ongoing knowledge of every syllable that I'm stating, all right, arriving at that bus stop, and then as I documented, you have another bus, which is Route 61. That's what the sign said on the bus, at least. And then it does not proceed west on Hope Boulevard, as is the published bus route. 61 then turns onto San Antonio and proceeds north of San Antonio. That is not the route for that is not the bus route for 61. Okay, this is the P.O.C. So they changed the signage. He's sitting at the bus stop stall, and I just want to document that. And they engage in that conduct. They're demons, and they're pathetic, okay? But they engage in that to try to engage in some sort of targeting, some sort of methods of harassment. This is what evil people do, by the way. And that evil is coming from not just being mere mean, okay? They're not just, oh, she's talking about me. This is demonic. These are demons, all right? This is out of the pit of hell, and it's operating over those who happen to be running a bus transit line, okay? It's demonic activity. And this is the ways in which they engage in harassment, hostility to revealing their secret condition. It ain't a secret no more. It's of demon possession, and they're engaging in criminal conduct. Satan is consumed with the use of technology to monitor American citizens who are not demon possessed, because I'm not of that condition. License, let me see, it is currently 8:04 p.m. And this is documentation of ongoing molestation at the Fontana Metrolink train station by Omnitrans, by the way, who represent the people. All right, they're a perpetual sex offender. Omnitrans stalking in a bathroom, monitoring, okay? Engaging in surveillance in the private space. Listening, in other words, to me pull up and down my panties. Stalking, engaging in predatory conduct, running into the bathroom to make sure that they're present there, and engaging in loitering in relevant position. That's what Omnitrans is engaged in. All right? It's 8:04 p.m. All right, Omnitrans loitering in relevant position. Engaging in surrounding. They're surrounding me, standing on the sidewalk, and coming and standing on the gate, standing behind me where I'm standing in the grass. This is Route 19, bus 1202. And the license plate is 1234500. It's 8:11 p.m. Bus 1304, the same. Leaving from the bus stall, and what they're engaging in is surveillance. This is license plate 1479513. Route 15. It is 8:12 p.m. All right, taking a picture of what are the people engaging in surveillance in that same Fontana Metro link where I showed you Jacobs Engineering Incorporated stalking under a fake sun. Those demons that were walking in a line with utility jackets on, crossing path. They're engaging that same parking lot. That is the same entity engaging in stalking in perfect alignment with me where I'm standing in the grass, acting with Omnitrans. It's the same conduct, just in a private vehicle in relevant position. They are all monitoring. And I took an image of that. You can see that it's 813. That's called positioning. And that is called light activity in what is directed light. They're stalking with light. And these are demons that are surrounding all around me. That's terrorism. This is Fontana Metrolink train station. It's 8:13 p.m. 8:14 a.m. as I capture the group stalkers that are surrounding, engaging in surveillance, monitoring with Omnitrans, all of them acting with the state. And you see the absence of Route 61 at its bus stall. Omnitrans immediately arrives, Route 61, and that is license plate 1545. 1545-806. Bus 2358 immediately arrives after I take those pictures. All right, that's monitoring conduct, and this is also capturing what is their conduct pursuant to what I'm doing on my communication device, pursuant to my knowledge of capturing the group stalkers that are stalking with it, monitoring with it at the Fontana Metrolink train station. It's 8:15 p.m. All right, the image of the Route 66 bus, the license plate that I already recited, engaging in prolonged presence, molestation, and stalking with activity using the bus. As I get on the bus, and you're looking at what is molestation, and then as I step on the bus, as I engage in movement, that is using that bus as a means of audible activity. That is a demon operating that bus, engaging in sexual violence and the ongoing terrorism. That's engaging in that stalking with audible activity. And literally using the bus to do so. And that's what happens as I step on the bus. And using that bus as a means of maintenance of presence and pulling off as I get on the bus. All right, that's a simultaneity of conduct. Using their departure from the train, from the bus stall as their form for monitoring remaining present, loitering in relevant position, in other words, surveillance. And then as I get on the bus, leaving from the bus stall. Okay, stalking with activity as I step on the bus. It is 8:21 p.m. and I am on Route 61 now. This coach is operated by employee number 3540 who is monitoring. This is P.O.C. All right, I want to document federal stalking by American Medical Response, acting with the people on the bus who are monitoring with their communication devices. This is Omnitrans, and at 8:53 p.m., which is also going to be on the surveillance cameras of Omnitrans, on Milliken, AMR, that is monitoring on my communication device, uses its sirens and lights. This is amplification, and also directed light is on the bus, and crosses path at on Milliken with its sirens and lights. This is criminal facilitation. These are the elements underway while they're trying to slow down my upload to YouTube of what is the P.O.C. at facilitating venue, the Fontana Chamber of Commerce. The video of the third parties in the parking lot engaging in terrorism, engaging in federal stalking with the state. And I'm uploading that video right now. American Medical Response engaging in the P.O.C. by approaching on the passenger side of the bus at Milliken and Inland Empire before the bus turns into the Ontario Mills bus stop. This is where AMR is using sirens and lights right on the side of the bus, which is criminal facilitation while they're stalking in the path. Using the roads and the highways, this is Title 18, all right? This is conduct of Title 18. This is demon possession of those operating such emergency vehicles to engage in criminal conduct in concert with the people of the state while I am en route on the bus, okay? It is 8:57 p.m. That was at approximately 8:53 p.m. And that is P.O.C. The state engaging in terrorism, amplifying audible activity while I'm on the bus as the bus driver opens the doors in directed light. All right, this is the same conduct what the state is doing with, for example, the Metrolink train at the library inside of a library. You have what is extraordinarily loud. That's terrorism while the state engages in stalking with that sort of conduct, doing it pursuant with simultaneity to what you're doing. While in relevant position on Holt Boulevard at 9:17 p.m., the state amplifying the sound of what's supposed to be a car engine. All right, these are demons that are monitoring, and I want to document that. It is currently 9:17 p.m. Let's see, 5N. Oh, I can't see that one. That's noise. They're demons. They're psychopaths. We are driving west on Holt Boulevard though right now, passing the Wendy's. Ontario police driving east. That would be on the surveillance cameras of Omnitrans as well. Group stalking, driving in directed light. And like I stated, my video was uploaded onto YouTube. American Medical Response was engaging in federal stalking, monitoring with communication devices, doing so representing the state, that is terrorism, engaging in criminal facilitation of that conduct in concert with the people of the state, in the incredible manner of using emergency vehicles to do so. Those videos are uploaded onto YouTube right now, and it will be uploaded onto my website. It's 9:18 p.m. and I am getting off of, getting off of the bus at Lemon and Holt Boulevard. The license plate, Omnitrans, license plate 1545806, that's bus 2358, and it's P.O.C, subject to P.O.C on that bus. That's an Asian male driving that bus as well. It's P.O.C. All right, let me clarify a point. When I'm saying it is analogous to the train activity heard inside of a library or heard while I'm outside of the library, license 8LLG279, what I mean is with regard to the volume, the exceptionally loud volume, the amplification of that activity. That's what I mean. Not specifically the fact that the distance from the train station and the library, that's not going to be heard, but that is the analogous. That's the use of amplified and what is artificial, because you cannot actually hear that. So you are necessarily amplifying that which is either actually occurring or not actually occurring. That's what the state has engaged in, literally creating noise. And the state is engaging in that conduct. Again, this is a long time exposure to this criminal system. The state amplifying the sound of helicopters inside of West Valley Detention Center. All right, the state amplifying the sound of traffic that you hear now inside of the jail that I was kidnapped in, inside of West Valley Detention Center. That's impossible audible activity that the state is artificially engineering, targeting into the location where I am at. It's entirely demonic, and that is terrorism while it does so. And that is what I mean. That's why I want to clarify that. Okay? And it's currently 9:20 p.m. Oh, but let me be clear. Let me break down the significance of that, by the way. While the state was amplifying the sound of traffic, that is the people communicating a threat, right? The state using your presence, your form, the people, the sound of traffic is representing the people of the state. That is the form under which, and there is no form for hearing traffic. That's impossible audible activity. But let me be clear, the demonic conduct that is underway that I'm prosecuting and showing how this is terrorism. This is the people engaging in that criminal system, communicating that threat, engaging in terrorism while I am kidnapped inside of that jail. And that is the significance also of what was impossible audible activity while I'm kidnapped inside of the West Valley Detention Center. All right, it has context as well. In addition to the fact that it is amplified, artificially engineered noise inside of that cell where demonic activity was underway. License plate 8UVK919. And the people are going to be prosecuted for that. The state is using you as a guise into which activity is created. You are not ignorant of that, okay? In the same way you're not ignorant about directed light all over my person, all over the asphalt, all over the buildings. And it is entirely unreasonable to even suggest that they don't know that the fake sun is over them. Come on, these are psychopaths. This is demonic activity, all right? License plate. And the people are going to be prosecuted for that. License plate, let's see. 8NKR112. 8JTT 142. Can't see that one. M485CO. It is 9:22 p.m.